away from him, a Bassmaster Classic champion. So that part's pretty cool. The only thing else I can tell you about Randy Howell is he's completely overmarried. They all saw Robin in the Classic too, guys. Welcome.
He loves that.
The reigning Bassmaster Classic champ. He'll be back defending the title in February. My buddy Randy Howell.
Thank you. Thank you, Kent. That is a pretty good introduction there. I just always know Kent's always going to throw me under the bus about my wife being pretty. He always likes to do that. But no, it's great to be out here. Now that I know the California regulations require 2 microphones and not 1, right? We got that straight. No GPS in the windshield, right? Can't have no GPS and motorcycles can run right between you though on that little skinny line. Now, what's the deal with that out here, huh? They do that in Alabama, but it's against the law. So you do it here, and that's the only thing you can do that's legal here, right? But no, it's great to be here today. I've heard of Bass-A-Thon for years, and I've heard of Anglers Marine, but I've never been out here. I've known Kent Brown for years. He's a great friend, and you know, I've been with Daiwa for a lot of years now, and Daiwa's right out here, 30 minutes away. I never got to visit the Daiwa place because this isn't somewhere when you live in the east, you don't just ride by here, you know. You got to come here on purpose, and I wish I could come here and stay longer than a day and a half or 2 days that I'm only here. We'll be here in the morning for half a day, then I've got to fly back. But it would be a great place to come and get to fish around here and, you know, go to Disney World and do all the sightseeing stuff and all that, but it's pretty cool. But unfortunately, I'm not going to get to do that this week, but I am glad to get to be here to talk fishing today a little bit. I know we got some diehards in this place today. All you guys and gals are serious fishermen out here. I mean, for anybody, I've never been anywhere that they lined up outside the door. And I talked to that guy here, let me see, he said he was here at 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, and he stayed outside. He was the first guy in line. He slept outside all night just to get in line and be the #1 guy here today. And I mean, that is fanatic. That is a fanatic right there. You know, I thought I had it bad, but he's got it bad. And they told me before I came out to Anglers Marine that I would probably spend more money than I would make. And I said, well, I'm not going to make it anyway, so I'm definitely going to spend way more. And sure enough, I've already done that here today. I don't know, I haven't even tallied up my bill because every time I walk through, I pick up 2 or 3 more things and take it back, put it in my bag, and then we'll do the damage when they ring us up later. But that's what it's all about. That's the passion that we all have as bass fishermen, and that's what, you know, connects everybody as family in the fishing world, because, you know, it doesn't matter if you're in Florida, New York, you know, Washington, Oregon, California, wherever, everybody around the country is a bass fisherman. Even though we all might do it a little different in different parts of the country, we all still are a family, you know, and that's the cool thing. You can come out here and I can hang out and talk fishing with you guys just like I can do it in Florida or Alabama or North Carolina, and it's the same conversation. Everybody enjoys and loves the sport of fishing so much that they'll sell everything they've got to buy that $200 bait to try to catch a bass. You know, you can't beat that, and that's no other sport is like that. That's what I love about being out here. So I appreciate Kurt Arakawa. He's in the back. He's from Daiwa. I got to come out yesterday. He picked me up at the airport and went and toured the Daiwa plant. The first day that I happened to get here is the day that the New Zealand bait cast reels just come in on the truck to start shipping to the dealers. So Rick doesn't even have any here at the store yet. This is the first one that come out of the box, and I don't have one yet either. I'm hoping if I do a good enough seminar, he said I might be able to keep this one. I don't know. But they're going to draw. They're going to do is this going to be a raffle prize tomorrow or today? Tomorrow? Tomorrow. They're going to give one of these $300 zillions away. And then the first ones, I helped test these reels since June, July, and tweaked on them and watched how the guys have made them better. I'll tell you a little bit more about it here in a little bit, but I enjoy getting to meet all those guys in Daiwa and all the people out here. We've had a good time. So let me get on to the story. How many of y'all watched the Bassmaster Classic this year? You know, good. That's great. I love that. I mean, it was a great show. I still will, every once in a while, before I go to bed at night, I'll turn that thing on and I'll watch it again just to see if I still won, you know. And thank God, the second time I watched the rerun, it was like, because it's like the first, you know, month, it was like a dream. Like really didn't know if I'd done it or not. So then I'd watch the rerun and I'd say, sure enough, I won again, you know, and that'd be great. And that's the only thing I've got on my DVR that I've saved for that long now. It's still on there, so I can always go back. You have a bad tournament, you go back and watch that, and you forget all about the bad tournaments. That's the cool thing about fishing. But yeah, it was a lifelong dream come true. You know, I've done this I'm 41 years old. I started when I was 18, right out of high school in North Carolina. I'm from the far opposite coast, North Carolina coast is where I grew up, and moved to Alabama in '98. Moved to Alabama in '98. That scared me good there. You about got me, man. Tell him, hey, that's how my little boys would be, right? When we'd be out there about to sneak up on a 10-pounder on the bed, that's what they would do. Bam! They'd drop one of them lids and they'd fish and be gone. But anyway, I got ADD pretty bad, so I'll get off track. I'll chase another rabbit. As y'all know, all fishermen have that. But that classic, you know, I grew up in North Carolina. I moved to Alabama in '98. I've been there about 16 years or so now. So I've been in Alabama long enough that I kind of, people that don't really know just assume that's where I'm from. And my accent is kind of a blend of North Carolina and Alabama, but most people around Alabama still think I'm a native there, you know. And especially since I won the Classic, everybody loves you after you win. You know, when I was struggling, sometimes they didn't know who I was, you know. But after you win, they all want to claim me and give me the key to the city and all this commissioner and the governor give me all these cool things, and that's all great, you know. But like, where were y'all at 2 years ago, you know? But that's the way winning is all about, you know. That's what people love to, you know, be a part of somebody that is able to become a champion or fulfill a lifelong dream like that. And that's kind of what happened there in that Classic. And for it to have happened the way it did was so special and so cool. I mean, I'm a Christian. I've got a big time faith, and you know, that's my goal and my purpose in, you know, in fishing and going around the country. I talk to kids a lot, youth groups a lot, high school fishing teams, college fishing teams, and churches. I do a lot of speaking to that type of deal. And the platform that the Classic has given me to be able to go and do that is just been second to none. It's the way you can't get that opportunity without that title. And unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But thankfully, the Lord blessed me to get that title so I could have that opportunity. And I've been able to, I mean, we've really worked hard this year to represent and do it the best we could do it, and help and do as many things for as many people as possible. And it's been really great. And a lot of you guys are, you know, been part of helping us raise money for King's Home out in Alabama. It's kids and women's homes, and it's 4 or 5 different homes and campuses in 4 different counties. You know, and we give my Triton Mercury bass boat away every year, and we raise money for the charity. We sell tickets on kingshome.com. Kent Brown has been kind enough, he lets me get on the radio show, and you might have heard it out here, and I tell about it. And we drew last Saturday, it was a week ago today, we drew out the winner for that, and we raised $138,000 for their homes with that one bass boat, and that's pretty cool, that one boat. 1,358 tickets, so 4th year we've done that now, and so we've raised up till this time was $320,000 in 3 years, so you add to that now, man, like almost $450,000 with 4 Triton boats, so you can't beat that. So that's what it's all about, the platform and all that, and I could talk all day on that, but I know you want to hear about fishing. But that event, the way that Classic started, I want to just tell you my story about how it all happened, just to tell you, just to set it up, because it's a cool story. You know, the stuff they showed on ESPN is the edited version, you know, and they showed the edited version because it's, you know, less than really 2-hour show, and you can't really get appreciation for how it all really happened and how, you know, how the miracle took place. But first of all, I live an hour from Guntersville. I haven't fished Guntersville very much in my life, you know, because we're home for short amounts of time, and I don't go somewhere and go fishing just for, I call it frivolous fishing. I don't go frivolous fishing a whole lot. You know, used to, I did a lot, because we got so much to do, and I got 2 boys, and my wife Robin, we all travel together on tour. So if we come home, we've got so much other stuff to do of normal life that you want to still be a part of, that if you just go fishing just to be going fishing, if you don't really have something to gain from it, like if I take my kids, my boys fishing now, that's good, and we learn and they enjoy that. But for me to just go up there and go fishing, like people think that when pros that we fish for a living, that all I do is fish all the time. What do you do every day? You fish every day? I'm like, no, I don't ever fish. I don't fish many days at all. And I did fish a lot before we became busier, but the more names you start to get on your shirt, the less time you really get to fish, and that's part of the business, and I'm thankful for that. But Guntersville, I was really not a local. And a lot of people really thought I was a local. Like I said before, people thought I'm a native guy from Alabama, but I wasn't. So I'd only fished Guntersville probably maybe 20 times total, and that was because we had had 3 or 4 Bassmaster events over the years there. So when I went up there, and I mean, I had a lot of pressure on me. First of all, the King's Home family, and they've got a board of directors of like 17 people on this board, and I went to this board meeting to start the boat giveaway deal again, and the end of the last year, about this time last year. And we talking about it, and I said, man, the Bassmaster Classic is coming to Birmingham and Guntersville. And I was actually back in the spring. It was before the season started, so I hadn't made the Classic yet. And I said, they said, oh, we're so excited you're going to be representing us right here in Birmingham, and it's on Lake Guntersville. We're going to have such a great time. We're going to bring all the kids out. And now the pressure's just mounting because they didn't realize you actually have to go out and qualify for this Bassmaster Classic. They don't know how hard it really is. And they're like, well, do you know, when will you know that you'll be in it? And I said, well, you never know. Sometimes if you win a tournament, you know right away. If you don't, you might have to wait all the way to the end. Well, that's hard to plan things for us until we know that you're in this thing. So you need to go ahead and just win one of them or do something, so we could do it. Like, well, I'll do my best. So this pressure is mounting all year to even get in the Classic. And then, so I had a stressful season. I didn't do really good to start with. I was up and down, up and down. I was kind of not in the points high enough. I was like in the 40s, and I needed to be in the top 30 or so. So then mid-season of that year, I won the James River Northern Open, and that was a win. So I was a win and then your end deal. So I was in the Classic then. That was in June, I believe June of that year prior, June of 13, and so. Then I did really good. The next 3 elites, I made the top 10, just went on a good streak and made it on the points too. So I double qualified, got in the Classic. They were happy. So now I'm in the Classic. Now we go to all the practicing last fall I did. I went over there 12 days in a row. I went over there scattered times, and I'd take a different buddy every time that lived over there, let him show me a different part of the lake that I don't fish a lot, just to learn as much as I could learn, because y'all know fishing, and fishing vast water is all a puzzle. It's all about a puzzle, and you put the puzzle together, then you got to make an educated guess from day to day on what to do with that puzzle to make it work to catch fish. So I get as much information as I can get, and then I have to decipher it and then figure it out on your own. But still, if you use information too hard and you don't understand how to use somebody's information, I've learned this the hard way. If you take somebody's knowledge and information they give you and you don't apply it correctly, you'll spiral down. When the fish nut doesn't bite or if nothing's working right and you don't figure it out on your own, then you don't have anything to fall back on, because all your confidence was in somebody else's knowledge. So that's why taking that knowledge and then knowing how to use it to benefit. And Roland Martin was probably one of the best. He kind of quit or retired, not long after I started. But that's one thing I always watched about Roland Martin. He got a lot of good help. But Roland knew how to use the help really good. He would know how to use it. And Scott Martin, his son, that's on the FLW Tour, Scott's the same way. He gets a lot of good help, but he knows how to use the help correctly. And so I got all these guys to show me everything on the lake they knew, along with what I knew, and I practiced, went on through. And then we had the hardest, coldest winter, that I've lived there 16 years and had never seen the water freeze over like that before. And in the back of the Spring Creek, where I actually won the Classic at, 3 weeks prior, during our off-limits time, 3 weeks before we were supposed to be on the water, one of my buddies over there, and Chris Lane lives over there on the lake, and another friend of mine that lives close to Chris actually drove over that bridge that I won on, and he stopped and took a picture of it, frozen over, and you could see seagulls standing all around on the ice, and sent it to me. He said, well, y'all gonna have fun in a few weeks, like, yeah, wow, look at that. So then I'm just like, what are you gonna do? It's froze over. What are we gonna do?